Hi, welcome students. Welcome back to the session regarding the subject building construction technology, or just to say building construction. So in the last session, in the previous lecture, I discussed about what is subsurface investigation. I also said that subsurface investigation is also known as site exploration or site investigation or subsurface exploration. All of these together makes the same thing, makes the same type of investigation. Now by this lecture it should be very clear to you that what is site investigation. So now we are going to move further with the specific methods of site investigation, specific methods which we are going to study. I discussed about choice of method of exploration. I had said that depending on various types of soil, depending on the topography and the cost, different type of site investigation methods are always selected. So let us discuss about the methods. Now the basic methods which you are going to study is the 5 different types. Basically there are also more than these. There are more than these type of investigation methods existing in the world as well. But according to your syllabus, we are going to discuss about 5 different types, and out of that specific type of methods are going to be discussed, which are actually important as well, and also you should know about them properly. So the first method which you can see here is the trial pits. Trial pits, as I said, I had discussed in the previous lecture that just pits are excavated. I had shown you a picture as well that the bulldozer, the dozer blade was carrying out the excavation of trial pits. Second is the boring method, the most common method, boring. But you will have different types of borings and we shall discuss the same preceding in this lecture. Next, succeeding in this lecture, my mistake. Next is your probing method. Second, probing method it is one type, let me say a stake. You know what is a stake? A pointed equipment, right? Now that is nothing but a probe. We have different shapes, different types, and based on that, probes are inserted into the ground and they are rotated and vertically lifted so that the soil sample gets collected on its surface. Next is the geophysical methods. I had said that if you are covering a large area, if you want to cover a large area, then the basic methods may prove to be less economical, and in that you will use geophysical methods. Now we have different types in geophysical methods, we shall discuss the same. And the fifth type is your subsurface soundings, that is a standard penetrometer test. It is nothing but a standard penetrometer, SPT, standard penetration test. And you also have, apart from these, magnetic methods, electrical methods, but right now we are covering these type of methods. So let us discuss about the first one, trial pits. What is a pit? Pit is nothing but let me say a depression, a dent created into the ground. Look at the picture over here. In this picture, you can see that the layers of the soil, are changing at certain depths. I had told you that the soil sample is collected at regular intervals. I had told you that it differs, let me say that I had said that about at regular intervals. Soil sample is collected at regular intervals when you are excavating a pit. Now, why do you need to do that? Have a look at the other picture. You can see visibly it is clear that the layer of the soil, the type of soil is changing at certain depth. The same thing I have shown in this picture, a cross section which you are supposed to draw. So the larger size particles shall be existing at top, and when you will be moving further deep down, the layers shall change. So this is your trial pit. You can see in the picture. I am showing you another picture as well. Have a look how the trial pits look. Okay, the depth shall be in general cases 1.5 meter, or the criteria, the thumb rule which I had told you in last lecture, and the width shall be same, it shall be 1.5 meter, around 1.2 to 1.5 meter. So this is the most common type, most basic method used for normal conditions of soil. For normal conditions, for soft to clay soils, you can use trial pits. For a shallow depth up to 3 meter, you can use trial pit, and the excavation is carried out up to the hard strata, because in this case the hard strata shall be available at a shallow depth, right? In that case you can use trial pits. Sometimes groundwater table may also interrupt, it can happen, so you have to find out certain necessary precautions to pump out the subsoil water if it is interrupting. And again you can see in another picture over here, the dozer blade is being used for the excavation of trial pit. This can be done manually, it can also be done mechanically, depends on the conditions. So this makes your first common type of method, basic type of method called trial pits. Now let us move further, discussing about the second type, that is seismic refraction method. Now this is one of the subcategories of, speak in your mind, yes, geophysical methods. This is the category of geophysical method. The first method which you are seeing over here is seismic refraction method. Now what is seismic? It means something related to earthquake, correct. Seismic, when the word seismic comes, it is related to earthquake. Now how this seismic principle is going to be applied in the subsoil and how you are going to find out the properties, let us understand that it is based on the principle that sound waves, shock waves, vibration waves, impact waves, the sound waves travel faster in the rocks, in the boulders, in the solid material as compared to the soil, as compared to soft soil or clayey soil. So the seismic velocity, the velocity for these waves to travel shall differ in different media, right? So we shall do is like, first of all let me say that we have a very large area. We have a very large area. Large area is to be covered for the investigation. So what you will do is, at certain place, you can see in the image on the left side, you can see that some kind of waves are produced and sent into the ground. Now when they will let me say strike with the hard strata, there will be certain rays which shall be directly reflected, and there shall be rays which shall be refracted. You know the difference in physics, you have studied what is reflection, what is refraction. So in this case what will happen is, it will be refracted back based on the different media, soil media existing. So when it is refracted back, it will be taken, it will be noted with the help of a receiver, that is geophone. Now the amount of time when it is received back is noted, and if you have distance and time, you can find out the velocity. So what you are going to exactly find out here is the seismic velocity of the particular site. Have a look at this another picture, seismic refraction method. This is going to make you very much clear about the method. Now there is a trick. If you understand all of these sketches, if you understand all of the images, you shall be directly able to explain from the images as well. So in this seismic refraction method, you have the first soil layer, soil media, then you can see there is subsoil water present, and there comes your hard strata. So now what will happen over here is, a shock wave is produced. How do you produce a shock wave? That it will be done with the help of a blast with explosive, or you can say with a plate and a hammer. You will produce shock waves which you can see at the written at the energy source. So the sound waves will start, the shock waves will start traveling towards the soil media, and when the soil medium changes, the waves shall be refracted back. we will place at least 2 to 3 geophones, detectors, we shall call it geophones, and the waves shall be refracted and received in the geophones. So we have two types of waves. The first, which will be refracted back from the first media, that is your primary waves, and secondary waves which shall be detected at your geophones. So this will give you seismic velocity of the soil condition, site conditions, and based on that we have different formulas, different concepts from which you can find out other different properties of the soil. So here you just have to understand the concept, the method, and how it is executed. That is the most important thing for you. This covers your seismic refraction method. Talking about the second type of geophysical method, that is your electrical resistivity method. Now if I say that I have one potentiometer and I have a battery from where electric current is generated, and I am placing, let us say we are placing 4 electrodes. So the 2 electrodes, the outer 2 electrodes will be connected with the help of battery that will be passing electric current, and the inner 2 electrodes will be connected with the help of potentiometer. In the image you can see this is a live setup. So all these methods are not just theoretical, it is not just on paper. You can see the live setup over here. So what we will do is we will pass the electric current, and because of this electric current there will be potential drop in the inner 2 electrodes, and that potential drop is going to be recorded in the potentiometer. So what you will get over here is the electrical resistivity of the particular soil, and like in seismic refraction method, this electrical resistivity is further used to derive other physical properties of the soil. So what is the basic principle? That different type of soil have different type of electrical resistivity. You can perform this number of times for a particular site and then find out the mean electrical resistivity, which will give you the average, the mean electrical resistivity for the particular area. As I discussed the setup, you can see in the image over here, there are outer 2 electrodes and inner 2 electrodes. Electrodes are nothing but metal rods, metal spikes. What will be the depth of its, the insertion of the spikes? It will be equal to your depth of excavation, and the distance between the 2 electrodes shall be equal to the depth of excavation up to which you have inserted. So these 4 electrodes, the outer is connected with the battery and the inner 2 electrode with potentiometer. Electric current is passed through the outer 2 electrodes, and it will cause potential drop in the inner 2 electrodes because your soil will be having some kind of electrical resistivity. So how do you find out? You have the formula which is shown over here, 2 pi dE upon I, where d is the distance between the electrodes, right? What is E? That is the potential drop recorded in the potentiometer, and I is the electric current, right? So if the d is in distance, then this E upon I, the unit will become ohm centimeter. This gives you resistivity of the soil. Moving further to the next type, that is your boring method. Now you have plenty of methods in boring, right? Let us discuss about the basic types. The first is your auger boring, and second is auger and shell boring. Both of them are same. In my previous lecture, I also showed you what is auger, right? That was just one type, helical type. We have other types of augers as well. So that is your auger boring. Next is your wash boring, which you have generally seen when you are pumping out water from the soil. For your household purpose as well, there will be certain variations we shall discuss. Next is rotary and percussion boring. We have 5 different types of boring: auger, auger and shell boring, wash boring, rotary boring and percussion boring. Okay, so let us discuss the first one, auger boring, that is auger and shell boring. Look at the image over here. The helical which you can see, I had showed you in my last lecture. One was which mounted with a crane, and the second was which I showed you, a man was doing it manually with the help of handle, which you can see in this second picture. So this is also another type of auger in which you have sharp knifing edges, knifing blades at the bottom. It is inserted just like screw in the ground, and soil sample will be collected between these two, let us say these two toes or shoes, and soil sample will be collected. Have a look at the auger boring. You can see in this video here, the image which I had showed you, this is live working, how auger is inserted into the ground and the soil sample is collected on its side. So this is your auger boring. Again, you can see another image, the same thing, how the soil sample is collected. You can see one more thing, how the soil sample is collected. So these are the different images which should make clear. And then there are specifications, dimensions, up to what depth mechanical is used and up to what depth. Okay students, so let us, for right now, let us keep till here. We discussed about auger boring. Different types of boring shall be discussed in next lecture. I think this is enough for now for you to study. So that's it for the session. We are keeping till here. Thank you students.